Hey guys, welcome to Black Geek Cool. I'm your host, Sean, and today we got a spoiler review of Captain Marvel. If you haven't seen my non-spoiler review of Captain Marvel, it'll be up here or there or in the description. Check that out. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie first, and then come back and watch the spoiler review because you're the spoiler stuff, plot points, all that good stuff. So first of all, like I said in my non-spoiler review, I really liked the movie. I thought it was entertaining. It was fun. I had fun with it. Was it the best Marvel movie ever? God, no. Far from it. But it definitely wasn't the worst Marvel movie. That deserves to Thor the Dark World. But it was fun. It was entertaining. It was an enjoyable story. It made sense. And they introduced a brand new character and did a good job being a solo origin movie. It didn't feel necessarily like an origin movie. It's a new hybrid origin movie superhero movies are doing, but it worked for me. I enjoyed it. I give it like a 7 out of an 8. I forgot I wasn't doing that. Well, whatever. I give it a 7 out of 8 out of 10. Damn, that's a big number. Maybe we should go 5. 7 out of 8. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really enjoyable. 7.5. 7.5. That's where we're going to land. 7.5. I thought I had fun with it. Brie Larson did an awesome job. Samuel Jackson did an awesome job. And that's where this movie shines. I think I'm kind of jumping over the place. I'm just talking about more characters. I didn't talk about characters in my first review. I'm talking more characters because that's one of the big, strong suits of this movie is the side characters and the rest of the characters within this movie. They did a really good job helping the story go along, keeping you in the story and make it believable for you. Samuel Jackson, of course, did an awesome job. Coulson, who I didn't mention in my non-spoiler because I thought it was a spoiler, but I forgot he was in one of the trailers. He did a really good job. I forget her name. I know her last name is Rambo. I want to say Vanessa. I don't think it's Vanessa. I forget. It's Carol Danvers' partner. That's my AC. Carol Danvers' flight partner. She came later in the movie. She did really good. Like, it's a little weird to see them fly, because you don't see them really fly, but you know they're pilots. And they had something where they couldn't fly regular jets, so they had to just fly experimental jets because they're women. That was the only weird thing in the movie, really. Well, one of the weird things in the movie. But she was great. Like, when she showed up on screen, she was engaging. She threw out information. She didn't do a lot of, what's it called? I forget. Backstory necessarily, but she filled in things about Carol Danvers so she can kind of figure out who she was. Also, the little girl, I forget her name, and at least her character name, but I know she's supposed to grow up to be another Miss Marvel, also Spectrum, one of the first black female superheroes for Marvel, I believe. She grows up to be that superhero, and she was really good. Like, she stole the show. Her parts, her scenes, awesome. Timing was perfect. She was cute as a button, and she gave you that kid-like wonder in the movie that you want to have. That's just every child being in that movie. You want to see them enjoying that world, and she seemed to enjoy the world immensely. Also, they changed I don't know if they changed the scroll the way people thought they were going to be, because people thought the Skrulls were going to be the villains. They turned out to be kind of refugees in this movie and nice people, or nice aliens. I know a lot of people like that ruined Secret Invasion, but Kevin Feige's already come out and said that there's good Skrulls and there's bad Skrulls, just like there's good Kree and there's bad Kree, just like there's good humans and bad humans. So the door is still open for Secret Invasion. It should be done in a different way, which most of these Marvel Cinematic Universe movies change up the comic book storylines anyway, so that should work out good. But the guy, I think his name is Ben Mendelsohn. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. Yes. There you go, Rabbit. I did one. But he did a really good job as the Skrull. I think it's Talon. Talon, he's like the kind of leader of the Skrulls, or this group of refugee Skrulls. He did a good job. He's very engaging. His character, he has great punchlines here and there. He had great jokes. He got that borderline vicious but concerned. So he played that I'm a villain somewhat, but then this reveal that he's not the villain. He's only trying to get to his family. Great reveal. I didn't see it coming until like closer to where the reveal was going to happen. I kind of started to notice little things. But he did an awesome job. Also, his his science officer, he was funny too. He died, rest in peace, sacrificed himself. But also, who was a good character? I realized it was Jude Law. I said a terrible wrong name in the first one. It was Jude Law who was, he wasn't Marvel, he was, I forget that character's name. But he's like Carol Danvers, like lieutenant or something like that. He was good. He was a good character. Not the greatest, but not too bad. But there's a lot of other characters that didn't get a lot of time, but that might be focused later on in the cinematic universe throughout the storyline, which is one of the things people are really curious about. What is Captain Marvel 2 going to be like? Because it's going to make a sequel. It's already made over $700 million. So they're making a sequel. That's already planned. They've already probably greenlit that and just haven't told us. So they're making a sequel. It's made too much money not to make a sequel. But there's characters that could evolve into different villains, even though they only got a small piece of time. And then the whole Marvel, I forget the lady's name who played Marvel, but she did a decent job. Like, she helped the story go along, playing kind of two roles, the Supreme Intelligence, I believe that's what it's called, and playing Marvel. They did switch Marvel's gender, which a lot of people don't seem to be upset about, so that's good. Marvel never really had a distinguishing need to be male characteristic about him, so it works out just fine. Let's talk a little bit about the few fight scenes. Like, the first fight scenes when she gets captured is really cool when she's trying to escape. It really shows that she is a warrior and she's been trained to fight. I like that scene. It makes you realize that she's more of a soldier, like Captain America, than just a brunt hero necessarily, more like Tony Stark. Tony Stark is like, he uses his equipment more. Captain America is more of a, I'll punch you. Tony Stark will punch you, but he'll punch you with a phaser beam or something like that. Captain Marvel can do both. She can hand-to-hand combat and use her powers, which is cool. It kind of shows you off the back that she is a warrior, that she is trained, and she is more powerful even without her Kree powers necessarily. Like, she can handle herself even without the Kree. Well, it's not Kree. Technically it's the Tesseract powers. But I like that scene. It was fun. It was entertaining. Like, that fight escape scene was fun and entertaining. It showed off some of her abilities. It kind of made the Skrulls look weak, though. But then again, you realize that they're refugees. They're not like elite warriors necessarily. So I know a lot of people like, oh, it made the Skrulls look bad. But then when you find out that they're like refugees trying to survive, it puts a different light on them. They're like elite warriors of the Skrull race necessarily, because that's what we've known the Skrulls to be. But I thought it was a really good scene. The other scene, of course, when she does get her powers and she's flying and blowing up stations, it's amazing. I know people are worried that she seems super OP, but she doesn't honestly look much stronger than Thor or even Hulk. I mean, she more feels like a boost up Iron Man, because Iron Man flies, blows up ships, massive ships with rockets and stuff, and she does that too. Of course, she did fly through a ship, which is pretty powerful, but Thor does that all the time. And now that he has Stormbreaker, he seems like immensely more powerful. Another thing, I'm not sure if Thor is a god, but is he immortal? Because this man should have died like 3 different times in Infinity War. But I digress. I don't think she's immensely more powerful than Thor and Hulk. I think she is powerful. She's another big hitter, but I don't think she is as powerful as people making her seem to be, or are worried about her being in Endgame. Like, I don't think she just show up and beat Thanos easily. I don't think that's the case with her. She is powerful, but I don't think she is that powerful. And then also, her power seems to come from the Tesseract. As you've seen, it was the explosion. That's how she got her power. Maybe the Kree did some more stuff with her too, but mostly her power comes from the Tesseract. And being that Thanos is in control of the Tesseract, I feel like he can shut her power down. That's just my theory. That's just how I think. A little bit more about the movie. The humor is great. Funny. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. I didn't talk about it in my non-spoiler review. The title of the Marvel's title scene where they show all your heroes and stuff. They did this awesome thing that brought a tear to my eye. I'm not gonna lie. Brought a tear to my eye there. They did a homage to Stan Lee in the title sequence of all his cameos within the movies. And it was beautiful. Like, I would like that to stay that way for like at least Endgame. Do it one more time for Endgame. I think that would be very honorable. But yeah, it was beautiful. Got a tear in my eye. It was a beautiful moment in the theater. Everybody was just like, "Oh, greatest moment ever." But mostly this movie is go see just for that. Yes, this movie's good, but that's a beautiful moment for you to share with other people who enjoy Stan Lee and have that moment to just remember the greatness of that man. That's all I'm going to say about it. Go see it for that. If you enjoyed it, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you thought. But once again, overall... Oh, there was something else. So, I don't know if this is... I don't know if anybody else noticed it. So I've looked at a couple other people's reviews and I didn't see them talk about this. So there's a point where Agent Coulson says he's a rookie in this movie. Like, it's kind of his first couple days on the job necessarily. But at that point, they're already calling themselves S.H.I.E.L.D. If anybody else remembers, in Iron Man 1, Agent Coulson, not a rookie in that, he says S.H.I.E.L.D''s name, I forget what it is, Strategic Homeland Intelligence. I'll probably mess that up. Whatever it is, I'll put it down here if I find it. They're not calling themselves S.H.I.E.L.D. at that time in Iron Man 1. And this is supposed to be before Iron Man 1, so I don't know if that was just an error on Marvel's part and they didn't realize that, but they're using S.H.I.E.L.D. in this movie. Like, they're just flat out using S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not strategic, blah, 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 blah. It's just S.H.I.E.L.D. We know from Iron Man 1, they were using blah, 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 blah first, and then started to use S.H.I.E.L.D. after that. So I don't know if that was an error on their part and they didn't realize that, or does this movie sit in a different space? Because if that's true, stick with me now. If that's true, but that means this movie came after Iron Man 1. But then that can't be true because Agent Coulson is a rookie in this movie, and he wasn't a rookie. So that messed up the timeline a little bit. But there's a lot of different things that mess up the timeline within this cinematic universe, being that there's 21 movies. Some of them big, some of them small, so I think we can all move past that. But that was just something I picked up on. I don't know if anybody else did it. Hear in the comments if you remember that scene and that makes sense to you. One more thing with the Tesseract, you see it's back in this movie, so you see it's back on Earth, gets puked up, all that good stuff. The Tesseract is one of the only Infinity Stones that we see roaming the universe very frequently, which is interesting. I don't know if there's more to that or not. Just something to put on you guys' mind. So overall, like I said, I give this movie a 7 out of 5. I really liked it. It was enjoyable. Side characters are very interesting. They really build up the story, help the story along. Brie Larson is really good as Captain Marvel. I can see her being Captain Marvel. She works for me. Just how I feel. But let me know in the comments, how did you guys feel about this movie? What was your favorite part? My favorite part is the escape action scene. That was one of my favorite parts in the movie. Oh, I forgot. I guess there's an Easter egg. When the little girl's changing Captain Marvel's costume, you see the white and green costume, and then the bless me, the white and green costume, and you see the shield costume she wears, and then like the rainbow one was really cool. But yeah, that was a little Easter egg thing I found out a couple days ago. But yeah, hit me in the comments. Let me know what your favorite scene of the movie is. How'd you feel about the movie? I mean, you don't need to see it. It doesn't. Oh, that's what one of my friends said. Bo, he said, I'm just remembering stuff. Sorry, guys. He said that this movie doesn't add anything to the cinematic universe. I disagree. It doesn't add immense things. Yes, maybe 2 or 3 with the Skrulls, bring the Skrulls in, and then the Kree war with the Skrulls, it introduces that. So that's pretty big. It also introduces you to Captain Marvel, so that's big itself. But there's also a lot of little things that it adds in with where her power comes from. The Quinjet, as you can see, prototypes, the Quinjet that you clearly Kree helped build. It answers the questions of the beeper and Nick Fury's eye. So it does answer those things within the universe, questions that were still out there, wondering how did this happen, stuff like that. So I do think it does add to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Does it add to needing to see it before Endgame? No, I don't think it does. Unless you just want to see Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, do her thing, and kind of know a little more about the character before you go to Endgame. Yes, but overall, big picture-wise, for Endgame, no. But realistically, you're going to see Endgame anyway, so you didn't need anything to remind you about Endgame. Boom. Endgame's coming soon. Get ready. But thanks, guys, for watching this review. Hit the like button if you like it. As always, you can catch me at Black Geek Cool on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And, of course, here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you're new and you enjoyed the video. Hit the share button to show other people that you enjoyed the video and help me get more people come to the channel. And I greatly appreciate that. As always, guys, appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.